Hello there, everyone who's watching. This is Sami Wunder, your certified dating and relationship coach for the strong and successful and smart and super gorgeous women who are willing to have their dream relationship and make it happen. So, the wonderful, gorgeous woman you see sitting next to me right now is my former client, Kelly. And Kelly has been a part of my inner circle program, has been a part of my private coaching, and Kelly has totally transformed her relationship. And her story is so inspiring for all of you women out there who might be struggling in love, in dating with your man right now, or who think that adoration and being cherished by a man is not possible for them. Kelly is going to totally debust that myth for you today. So I'm so grateful, Kelly, that you're here. Thank you.
Pleasure to be here.
Can you share a little bit of where you were when you first came to me, Kelly?
Yes, I can. So it was about a year ago, and I was in a relationship, and I was so unhappy. This man was just not into me. He was just, you know that film, he's just not that into you. He just wasn't that into me anymore. And I was so gutted because I really loved him, and I knew he kind of really loved me too, but it just wasn't showing up in our relationship. So I just felt lonely and abandoned. And I was 39 and I really wanted to settle down and have a baby. And so I was really trying to make it work and, putting in the effort and doing all I could to make it work, and it just wasn't. So that's where I was when I first met you.
So I remember when Kelly first came to me, she was crying inconsolably because she was almost at the verge of breaking up with this man. And I remember that is when we did our private sessions, I could see how much she was in her masculine energy. And for a woman who is new to this work, all of this can feel like foreign language. So I will let Kelly explain what were the first few messages she took out of those first few private sessions that we had.
So yeah, I guess the first thing was, it was new to me. I didn't know any about what Sami was talking about. But in the first session, Sami made me realise that how she took me through some exercises. She made me realise how I was putting in all the effort and chasing the man, my man, constantly. How I was trying to please him, overgive to him, doing all I could to be the good little girl that would just get his love and approval. And she helped me realise that is completely masculine energy, and actually that's really off-putting for a man who's in his healthy masculine energy, because what he wants is a feminine energy, a receiving woman who's open to him. So that's what I really learned in the first few sessions, and then I started to feel awful and think, oh my God, I'm so stupid. And Sami helped me realise that this is what 90% or maybe 99% of us women out there do. We chase the man. If we're not in a relationship, we send text messages, we arrange dates, and that was the main thing that she really helped me realize. And I think you asked me that question, do you want to keep on rowing this boat? Do you want to keep on putting in all this effort? And you made me do this exercise where I was really tired, and I was crying then, because it made me realize how much effort I'd put in and how emotionally and energetically draining it was.
Thank you for sharing that, Kelly. I think we women, we don't really plan on being in that position. We just accidentally end up being in that position, and we don't honor that exhaustion that we're feeling in trying to push the relationship forward, trying to make it happen with a man. So I think for Kelly, one of the biggest transformations was to first recognize how exhausted she was in trying to make this relationship work. And we went through, I believe, tools where we energetically gave up, stepped back, and said, we're going to let this man go and we're going to release it. And you can't imagine how hard it is, or maybe you can if you're in that position, how hard it is when we're afraid of losing a man to hear from a relationship coach to let him go. Yeah. Kelly, you have been very inspirational in how far you have come. So before we move on, just so that the everybody who's watching or listening can get an idea of where you are today, would you like to please share with us where you are today?
Yes. Well, if you told me back then that I'd be where I am today, I really wouldn't believe it. That's the first thing. I just thought it wasn't possible for me, and if it was, it's going to be really hard work. So I am engaged. We're going to have our wedding. I'm really excited.
It's the same guy, by the way.
Yeah, it's the same guy, and I'm pregnant. I'm 40. And I'm pregnant, so I am so happy, and more importantly, I'm in a really loving, healthy relationship now where this man adores me and he does all he can to please me. And I don't have to put in lots of effort. I mean, it's really like it's different because I'm different.
Thanks for sharing that, and I think this is so inspiring. Congratulations again. I am so happy for you, Kelly. And you know, when we say that when we switch into our feminine energy, we stop making an effort in the relationship, where Kelly did the effort and where all of my clients do the effort is on working on themselves. So all the energy that goes out of us, goes out of our body for the man, we bring that energy back into us and we go deeper. We look at our emotional triggers, we look at our wounds, we look at why we need to control so much. What are we afraid of? Yeah, what are we escaping here? What are we resisting here? And we get really vulnerable with ourselves and we face our fears, and that's where the work lies. So even though I say the process is effortless, dating is effortless or should be effortless, and attracting a great man into your life and keeping him should be effortless, my clients do put in a lot of work on themselves, and that's what Kelly did. So I would love to hear a little bit more, Kelly, on what were your challenging moments during the coaching process and what were your biggest breakthroughs?
Yeah. Well, I think the first thing was realising that I was in the masculine energy and to stop those behaviours. So as we mentioned, I left him. So I mean, when you love someone and you want to have a baby with someone, leaving them and booking a flight is really scary. And Sami was like, yeah, you booked the flight now. I was like, I book it now? Yes, so going past those fears and having trust in Sami, because this methodology, this way of seeing the world is completely new to me. I didn't know it. So having the faith and going past the fears and realising that nothing else is working right now, so I'm either going to try this or give up. So really just seeing past the fears, that was the main thing. And then the other thing was realising all the behaviours that I was doing that were stopping this man coming towards me. So I was really into controlling, coddling, which is some techniques that Sami teaches, so overgiving and mothering this man. So when I left him, of course I wanted to text him, call him, say hi, any bloody excuse I could think of to get in touch with him, and I couldn't do that because he had to come to me. And then the other thing was realising what my boundaries were. So really, what was I willing to say yes to and what was really just not acceptable for me anymore? And really, I had to communicate that and say, I want to get married. I want to be the most important person in your life. And it's fine if you can't give that to me, but I can't accept anything less. And I was accepting less before. So really seeing my boundaries. And then I guess the third thing is dealing with my emotional triggers. And what that's about is realising the past hurt I'd had. So from my growing up, daddy issues, abandonment issues, being hurt in previous relationships, and realising that I was bringing that baggage with me to the table, and any action that he was doing, I was translating it as from my past hurts. So really seeing my triggers and dealing with them, because that's my stuff. And then from that, I felt in a really good place. I started that real deep self-love, and from that, magic happened.
Yeah, it's amazing how much willpower and personal responsibility Kelly has shown, because this woman really went deep. Like, she really sat with her demons. She really like poured love on them, really like saw. She was able to look into the mirror, and she's a client I really appreciate and value, because she was a woman who was hungry for answers. So she was always willing. She would ask me a question, I would give her a 2-line answer, and she would be able to get it, because she would go home, really process it, work on it. She was so hungry for growth, and she was so hungry for love. Yeah. Love. But I mean, look at her. Who would ever imagine that such a woman, such a gorgeous woman, could ever have an issue keeping a man? But that's the thing about relationships, right? They're complex, and we really have to take ownership of where we are coming from, of our energy. And mostly when we are in masculine and we're trying to control our man, and we're trying to control the relationship, whether we're dating or we are in a marriage or relationship situation, it's because we're afraid of something. It's because we are refusing to go deeper and address our wounds that are actually screaming for love and attention. And that's what femininity is all about. Femininity is about taking ownership of what's going on within us. So when we're triggered, and when something feels bad or off, instead of calling the man or calling the guy, dial in deeper into yourself and really feel what's going on for you. And with the coaching, of course, you get processes and techniques that help you shift really fast and increase your awareness to a whole new level. So, Kelly, for a woman who is watching this and considering working with me, of course, it's very different for you, because now you've gone through the entire process. But when you first came to me, even you were clueless about what this is. You were just in a very desperate and emotional space, and you were like, okay, I'll do it. But what if a woman is watching this or listening to this and wants to take the conscious decision of doing this work? And of course, she's afraid because she doesn't know what the other side looks like. She's on the other side. You're like at the end of the journey. I mean, you'll keep growing, but you've gone through the process. What about someone who hasn't gone through the process, is considering investing in herself, and is scared? Is she going to get results? Is it going to work out for her? Can she attract her soulmate through this process? Can she fix her marriage through this process? What do you have to say to this woman?
Okay. Well, what I would say is, how would you feel in a year or 5 years' time, and you're in the same situation, or even in the same pattern of attracting the same man that just isn't that into you? Like, are you going to be okay with that or not? Because if you're not going to be okay, then I would really say to take action now. Because if you leave it, it's just going to get worse. I've done lots of different techniques, and this technique is unique in terms of a relationship. It's so unique, and it's so life-changing and empowering that you're actually investing in yourself. You're not investing in a relationship. And I'm sure you totally deserve all the love and all the connection to yourself that you can have. So I wouldn't hesitate, because you're not going to get out of this situation, I don't think, without the right tools and techniques, because it is unique. So I would say do it.
And what about the fear of investment? Because you also invested a lot of money into this. What about the money fears? Has it been worth it?
It's been so worth it, really. I would just say,
I think your ring makes up for the investment.
The ring, yeah, the baby. I mean, it's really not about the money. It isn't. It's about what you're getting from it, and that is priceless. It's actually probably, if you finance it, worth more than that, Like, I could have seriously not been looking and not having a baby. That was a real risk. So what is that worth? You can't put a figure on that. So for me, it's, totally, I wouldn't hesitate. And I know it's an investment, but really that's about investing in yourself. So if you have questions around that, then there's something about investing in yourself and your relationship. And if you carry on, you're going to be in the same situation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kelly. And I would love to hear from you if you are a woman who is either you're single and you're smart and you've got your shit together, sorry for the language, and you still don't understand why it doesn't work out in your love life. So either you're in that space, or you're a woman like in Kelly's space where you are in a relationship or you're married and it's not working out and you would like your relationship to reach to the next level. I can help you, and I'm very, very confident with the track record that I have that I can help you. So please do reach out to me. Please ask for support. You don't have to do it alone, and you definitely don't have to suffer. You don't have to. You deserve more. So reach out to me at Sami@samiwunder.com, and make sure you visit my website at www.samiwunder.com, SAMIWUNDER.com. So thanks once again, Kelly, for your beautiful presence and vulnerability, and for sharing this with a lot of women out there who are probably feeling hopeless, and for giving them inspiration.
No problem. Thank you.
Love you so much.